Emotions are something that a lot of people have a misconception of. So we're going to discuss and break down what truly the emotions actually are. They are more than just chemicals within your physical body. They are more than just hormones. Emotions are energy. They have a physical manifestation, which is a chemical reaction in the brain, and they are an etheric astral energy. Okay. Emotions are a creative force given to you. They are what makes you become something before you have it. They carry magnetic attraction. So with this understanding, your emotions are no longer a reactive thing. They never will tell you your true things as an emotion, what an emotion is. I remember being in infant school or whatever you want to call it. They were teaching you what the emotions are. And they told you they are just things they're just reactions. By living in a very reactive mindset and an emotional reactive person, this causes chaos in your life. Emotions are very chaotic if you do not know how to control them and what they truly are. You see, we've all been brainwashed into thinking we are just physical beings. We are just these the apes that evoluted over time into human beings. This is completely wrong. We are in an intelligent design. You're in an intelligent body. You're an intelligent consciousness, and you have an intelligence within you called emotions, which you can use to attract things to you and to become things before you physically have it. So they are a creative force. That consciousness you have inside of you is a creative consciousness. It's an ever expanding consciousness, which is God. The whole point of you being in this physical world and having consciousness is creating. You cannot not create. It is impossible for you not to create something. Your whole life you have been creating. Before you kick the football, it's a decision made within the mind. You then created this action. You are a manifester. Okay. So your emotions should be used, they should be controlled as a tool to create things in your life, to become the reality before you physically have it. Fear. Fear is an illusion and it is a bondage. It keeps your mind stuck to three-dimensional awareness. If you try and astral project, you will not astral project if you are fearing. Why? Because fear and negative emotions, all of the negative emotions only exist in a world of time, and that is this physical plane. You cannot transcend this plane. Your mind cannot function on these higher planes with these lower three-dimensional emotions in your mind. Fear is a bondage to the physical body and it enshrouds your soul. It enshrouds your body. It locks you. Okay. This is why this is why the food is all laced with chemicals and the news is constantly pushing fear because they have to keep you in a fear state to keep your central nervous system in fight or flight mode. And they have to keep your mind in three-dimensional awareness because once you realize that you are not this physical body, you are something that transcends this physical world, you will wake up and you will no longer abide by this system that we live in. Okay? So fear is the biggest tool that they are using to oppress you. Fear is the biggest bondage. Okay? It keeps you locked in a box, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So emotional effects on the body. Emotions have great impact on the body, the immune system, the brain, and every single cell and the water structure in your body. Hatred and negative emotions impacts the nervous system, immune system, and endocrine system negatively. Extreme emotions trigger the release of stress hormones in the brain. So what's that tell you? The emotion is there before something is triggered in the brain. You feel the emotion because emotion is energy. And then the release of hormones are triggered within the brain. So like I said, everything begins spiritually. Everything begins in these higher planes. Everything begins in the mental, astral, etheric, and physical before it manifests physical. Over time, these stress hormones lead to increased inflammation throughout the body, resulting in significant health consequences. You could eat the most amazing diet in the world. You could eat the most pure organic sea moss, the most pure organic apples and watermelons every day. But if you have a negative mind space and a negative emotional state, you will create negativity in your life and you will create a disease in your body. This is how powerful your emotions are. Why? Like I just said, everything begins in the higher planes before it manifests physically. Okay. And when you keep feeling these emotions over and over again, you are impacting your subconscious mind, which will constantly create repetition in your life. So emotions are very, very, very powerful and they impact your body. Stress can cause you to lose your hair. It destroys your body. Like I said, everything that begins in this mental plane and these higher planes happens below. As above, so below. This is why Jesus turns water into wine. Water, what is water? Well, water is feminine, which represents the emotional side of a human consciousness, of all consciousness. It represents the emotional side of you, the emotional aspect of you, the water, which is also the moon. That's why we call it a mood in the moon, because the moon is feminine, represents emotion. Okay? So water and earth is emotion. So when it talks about water into wine, we're talking about emotional alchemy, which stems from the mastering of self. All religions stem from the master of self, the mastery of the self. That is where all religions stem from. All religions stem from the mastery of the mind, the emotions, the thoughts, and the body, and the stars, the study of the stars. Every religious text has something to do with the stars because they are very important. But today we're going to focus on emotion. What's the wine? The water into wine. The water is the emotion. The wine is the transmuted emotion. It's emotional alchemy. It's alchemy, this is, people. It's what the Bible is talking about. It's talking about them negative lower carnal mind emotions being transmuted into positive ones that bring benefits to your life, that attract better things to you, and controlling the emotions. Because when the emotions are not controlled, you attract negative people, you put out negative vibrations, you attract that back, you are destroying your body. That's why the Bible says the light of the body is the eye. If thy eye be evil, thy whole body will be filled with darkness. That's what it says in the Bible. It also says if the eye be single, thy whole body should be full of light. But then after that, it says, if thy eye be evil, their whole body will be full of darkness. Why? If your mind, your emotional state, your spiritual state is negative, your whole body, your whole life will be filled with darkness. You will be chained by your emotions. You will constantly live out of this animal state, this emotional state. Every time you feel sad, you will, fall into this trap of the emotions. So it's so important that we master the self, master the emotions. And we do that by changing the mindset that you have on life. Okay? What you must understand is that your mind is the director of energy. It has the power to create. It has the power to focus energy. Attention is energy. Where attention goes, energy flows. If you are placing attention on negative things, let's say you break your leg. Okay, this is a bad situation. Don't get me wrong. It's not nice that you broke your leg. However, there is a positive side to that. What's the positive? Well, now what's a good positive? You can now sit down, you could read the books that you've always wanted to read. You now have time to do something else productive because you can no longer walk. There's always a positive to the situation. And when you're using your mind to direct the energy into the negative route, the negative dual side, you are constantly digging yourself a hole, creating more and more negativity in your life. The law of cause and effect. So we must transmute this negative aspect, the water, the emotion, into wine, into a positive emotion to attract better things to us. Why? Because emotion, you attract what you are, not what you want. Emotions is energy in motion. Your emotions create a massive impact on this electromagnetic aura you have surrounding around your body. I have many videos on this, so go and check them out if you don't know what this is. So the emotions create energy. It puts energy in motion, emotion, energy in motion, which is spiraling around your electromagnetic field. And this field is what determines what is attracted to you and what is not, and what people, what animals, everything. Okay. This field, before you have an illness, the illness shows up in your field energetically, because as above, so below. What happens in the field happens in your body, happens in your life. The positive emotions that you feel creates a more stronger and bigger field, extending up to 9 feet in circumference. So when your field is in a positive, high vibratory rate, this is when your field has more impact on matter. Why? Because what's matter made out of? These fields. These fields create the physical world. It's the real atom. You yourself are a giant atom, and you can control your atom to create the world around you through your emotions. So if someone's crying and you go and walk next to them and go talk to them, that negative emotion is going to rub straight off onto you, because emotion is energy in motion. It's casted throughout your electromagnetic field. Your inner world manifests your outer world through the heart. The emotions are felt in the heart, casting out into energy vibrations through this field. Demons. It's just another allegory, another myth about emotions, another metaphor about emotions. D meaning negative, mon meaning moon, the negative moon, negative mood, negative emotions. Moon is feminine, it represents emotions. Demons are something that possess you. What possesses your mind? Emotions possess you. It's a metaphor. Don't get me wrong, spirits do exist, but a lot of the allegories about demons is all about the emotions and how they possess you. They possess your mind. They take over your mind space. They take over your body, how you feel, how you think. So this is why emotions are very, very, very powerful, and we need to use them and control them, utilize them to create it in our life. Instead of them being reactive, we can use them to pull things to us. Instead of, the emotions that we should be feeling mainly is love and abundance and joy and all of the positive ones, all of the positive emotions that transcend the physical world, because fear, hate only exists in this physical plane. The higher planes of consciousness, these emotions don't exist. That's what sin means. Sin means emotion. Sin. That's what a sin is. It's a negative emotion. It's an emotion that exists in time. That's what a sin is. So you must control these emotions. You must, and how do we do that? We do that through meditation. And like I say, meditation is a massive, massive part of. I don't like using the word meditation because people get thrown off. Just turn off your mind. Sit in silence. Be at one with yourself. Sit in silence in the dark. Turn off all the lights and sit in the dark with yourself. and just let the emotions and let the thoughts pass by like the clouds. And when you let them go, they will sooner rather than later, they will go. And you will just be just left with the consciousness, that pure awareness. The reason why they told you to be scared of the dark when you're a child and programs that into you through the movies and Hollywood is because they don't want you sitting in the dark. When you sit in the dark, there is a light shining within you, that pure consciousness. You no longer can see your body. You no longer can hear the thoughts and the emotions. What is left when all of this is stripped? When the body is stripped off, when the emotions and the mind is stripped off, you are left with pure consciousness. And that is what they don't want you to figure out. Because when you connect with that, you can transcend this physical world. You can do all sorts of have mystical experiences. So yes, emotions can be used to attract things to you. When you think, you are visualizing, and when you feel, you are becoming. So you can think and feel on a daily basis of this reality that you want, which I teach in my Manifestation Mastery course 2.0. You have access to this in the university, so make sure to check that out. I'll tell you how to use your emotions, thinking and feeling, visualizing, becoming that reality before you have it. This will train your mind, because why? Your brain does not know the difference between an imagination and a real reality. Your brain does not know the difference between an imagination and a real reality. So if you become that reality in your mind with your thoughts and emotions, you are creating, you are becoming, you are tricking your brain that this has already happened. And what will happen? When you create them neural pathways in your brain will subconsciously create that, somehow try and figure out to create that neural pathway into a real physical reality. And that's how it works. So I hope you learned a lot from this lesson about emotions and what they truly are. And the last thing I'm going to say is love. Love is the unifying force. Love is the unifying emotion. Because, like I said here, this image shows 1,000 words. What we all are is one observing consciousness expressed in thousands, if not trillions of different bodies. What's in the squirrel is inside of you. It's consciousness, it's self-awareness. And this consciousness is divided through fear and hate. And that's why they push fear and hate onto you so much. And they place you in different postcodes with different football teams and different basketball teams. And they send you different schools, and then different schools compete with the other schools to cause division. It's all about causing division and causing hatred towards others. Why? Because love. We all naturally love when we come here. When a child is born, you can see the love in its eyes. It loves everything. But as it gets older, it starts to become darkened by the matrix, the system, this dark spell that is casted upon the minds. We all need to learn how to love, because this is the unifying force that brings all of our consciousness back to one unified team. And when we figure out that these elites are literally, there's probably, they're compared to the population, there's way more of us. And if we all started to love each other, why would we need them? So anyways, I hope you all learned a lot of this lesson. Thank you all for joining the university. I look forward to teaching you more. Please let me know for anything that you want, as because you have joined, I want to make sure that you are happy inside of this university. And I want to make sure any question you have, I can answer, I can research for you. Okay. Thank you all. Have an amazing day, people.